The archipelago was once unknown, beyond the reach of humans. The isolation created a unique ecosystem. That ecosystem gave rise to new species and animals without predators adapted to the unforgiving conditions. In tandem with the ocean currents and winds, the organisms here adjusted and carried on. One day, the archipelago's peace was shattered. Coexistence of nature and humans. Was it an illusion concocted by humans? In raw, untouched nature lies the inconvenient truth of the Galapagos. The primeval archipelago lies some 1,000 kilometers from mainland Ecuador. Unmolested nature maintains its beauty and wonder. Even under the ruthless law of nature, organisms coexist here, relying on one another for survival. It is one of the few places on Earth where one can encounter nature just as it is. Some 20% of the marine organisms in the Galapagos are endemic. Around 97% of land mammals and reptiles are endemic species. That is to say, the organisms here are unique. Among the 5 islands in the Galapagos inhabited by humans, Isabela, which is the largest, is twice the size of Jeju-do. When you arrive at the island, you are greeted by long-time resident animals. They are unfazed by approaching humans.
Beautiful. Yeah. So they should be scared of us.
It's beautiful. It's really very nice. Very naturally. It's we like it. We like it very much.
Danger lurks wherever there are humans. While animals are wary, humans too are inconvenienced. Tourists are very careful not to bother the sleeping iguanas. The animals here have evolved without predators, so they have not developed a fear of humans. It doesn't have to be volcanic rocks. They can live wherever they can take in the sun. The dock is always littered with sea lions. They take over benches whether or not there are humans. Pups less than a year old get their nutrients from their mother's milk. They only do what nature dictates, no matter where they are. Perhaps it is because it does not occur to them that humans may hurt them. It is a zone of peaceful coexistence. Even when they block the entryway to an office, locals only consider it a minor everyday inconvenience. Dangerous situations do arise from time to time, but people are used to them and slow down. Although the situation is harrowing, the sea lion is unfazed and unalarmed. It simply chases away intruders that encroach on its turf. It seemed poised to threaten the intruder, but it just turns back. Local drivers know very well how to shoo sea lions off the roads. Sea lions can be found all over the town. Why have sea lions taken over the town when they should be on the beach? Most of the island's shoreline is exposed to violent waves. That is why there are many cliffs, which aren't suitable habitats for sea lions. The flat beaches have already been invaded by humans. The calm coast waters suitable for sea lion pups have become a playground for humans. Because sea lions gave up their habitat, humans must pay the price. They must endure inconveniences. For some reason, people are unable to enter the waters. Sea lions have shown up first. It's only fair, since they used to rule these waters. One is blocking the stairs to the sea, while two others are barring the entryway to the waters. They can enjoy a quiet swim, all on their own. People give up and turn back. This happens from time to time along the coast. This one is lying down, blocking the dock. It's a predicament for humans. They must get to the dock to get on the boat, but alas, they can't get on the boat, nor can anyone get off. The boat eventually turns around. Given the situation, fences, bars, and such are installed to keep sea lions out and to make it easier for humans to get around. But there is a beach reserved just for sea lions. Here they can relax, free of human intrusion. But problems always arise. What could it be this time? They must figure out a way to get the hat. They use a stick, but to no avail. Ultimately, they chase the sea lions away and successfully retrieve the hat. To get away from the animals of the Galapagos, tourists have ventured deep into the forest. The waterway that stretches through the forest is crystal clear. This has to be heaven on earth. There are no sea lions they must be wary of. The forest is far from the coast, so sea lions cannot make their way here. The sea lions, which have taken over the beach, enjoy the midday lull. When they get tired from the swimming, they sometimes unwind on docked boats. There are cozy nooks in which they fit perfectly. The predator-free environment is not the only reason sea lions do not fear humans. Their long, peaceful coexistence with humans has also played a part. The local children are calling out to none other than a sea lion pup. To these children who don't have many playthings, sea lion pups make fun playmates. They both seem cautious, but they also seem to know they won't hurt each other. The tables have turned. The sea lion is now it, chasing the children. Sea lions have also taken over a beach where humans are. Do these animals know that tourists are visiting guests? They pay no heed to the humans enjoying the beach. With the rise of a town and the influx of tourists, the lives of the animals here have also changed. Finding food has become easier. And so has finding clean, fresh water. They just have to go into town. No matter how well the environment is looked after, there is bound to be trash and pollution wherever humans live. A sea lion plays with trash like it's a toy in a river polluted with wastewater. Some sea lions get hurt because of humans. This scar from a snare is telling of the pain it must have had to endure. Where humans live is not that safe. They are always exposed to danger. A fishhook is stuck so deep that it's not easy to remove. Do they finally understand the dangers of this place? The town's river, which flows out to sea, has long been polluted. Fish rise to the surface from the lack of oxygen in the water. The cause is the surge in wastewater from the rise in residents and tourists. The animals of the Galapagos bear the heavy brunt of it. The 21st century poses new challenges to the animals here that have adapted to unforgiving conditions through hundreds of millions of years. The sea lions crowding the beach go to sleep, exposed to the city's light pollution. Some break away from the herd and find more comfortable spots, but they toss and turn from street noises. Some venture to remote areas of the town to escape the light and noise. This too is a reality of the Galapagos. When day breaks, sea lions head out to sea to find food as soon as they wake up. They live in colonies comprised of males and their respective harems. Males must constantly fight and win to defend their territories. They are thus covered in cuts, which they wear like badges of honor. During mating season, they sit by the water and chase off competitors vying for their territories. This male rules over the territory here and protects his 30 females and their pups. The gestation period is 12 months, so most females give birth during mating season. The umbilical cord is still attached to this newborn pup. Like its mother, This pup too will probably live without fear in the Galapagos. Sea lion pups are made to play together when they are a month old. When their parents go hunting, they mingle, learn to swim, and develop social skills. This pup, which is skinnier than its peers, seems to have no friends. It's looking for its mother by sound and smell. Sea lions ruthlessly shoo away those that aren't from their group. The pup tries to rest, probably worn out from trying to find its missing mother. But it is chased away. It is not welcomed anywhere but in its group's territory. The pup is utterly spent. Its parents may have died somewhere.
Porque sus crías, al estar amamantándose, cuando recién tenían entre 2, 5 o 1 año de edad, las madres, tenían que buscar comida muy lejos de su lugar de anidación. Entonces estos lobos marinos, al no encontrar comida, simplemente o no regresaban, desaparecían y quedaban abandonados, ya que nadie podrá tomar su puesto.
The next day, the pup that was looking for its mother is found lifeless on the beach. A mother sea lion smells it and then turns away. It's not her pup. Another mother sea lion does the same. Having lost its parents, the pup died of starvation. It was too fragile to survive on its own. Here, this is the only thing humans can do. The Galapagos sea lion population has dwindled sharply in the past 5 years. Many are killed in accidents. Because of their red color, Sally Lightfoot crabs are all the more conspicuous against the volcanic rocks. Powerful waves are their greatest trial. No matter how high the waves, it is the Sally Lightfoot's fate to withstand them and survive. But their fate is altered on islands inhabited by humans. Here, they must be opportunists. They must adeptly avoid humans to feed. Precise enough to pick up a strand of hair, they have acute senses that detect even subtle vibrations. Here, the sound of human footsteps is their greatest trial. Even deep inland, which seems way off the beaten track, a road has been constructed. Here lives Galapagos' top-ranking defender of land, the giant tortoise. The tortoise reacts as if it has seen something. Giant tortoises had lived free of threats on the archipelago. That is why this is all the more unsettling and inconvenient. Like encountering a predator that preyed on them generations ago. The highlands are always green thanks to drizzle and mist. The lush vegetation makes one forget this is a volcanic island. On the other side of the forest lies an expansive stretch of grassland. Upon closer look, it appears there are man-made grids. This is a pasture for grazing cattle. There are ranches like this on every island inhabited by humans. Cows are not endemic to the Galapagos. They have been brought here for meat. The animals of the Galapagos are exposed to the diseases and pests spread by non-endemic species. Humans are remarkably resourceful. Even a remote island 1,000 kilometers from the mainland has everything. A road paved on the volcanic island's highlands connects to town. The human population of the Galapagos numbers nearly 25,000. It has been growing steadily since the 1990s. Various crops are grown in the soil made rich by volcanic ashes. These are yucca, the sweet potato of South America. Yucca is easy to cook, so it is a favorite staple among locals. Oranges are the most common fruit in the Galapagos. Orange trees are found outside every house and along roads. Perhaps because of their abundance, oranges can be picked by anyone, anywhere. People often pick oranges they see as they come and go. There are, of course, people who farm and sell oranges at the market.
Y aquí nomás para escoger, ve. Están maduritas. Esta está verde. Estas están maduras. Así. Ve. Estas naranjas son de Galápagos, bien dulce. Chuparán naranja.
Slightly unripe ones are preferred at markets. Orange is also a non-endemic plant that was introduced to the Galapagos. There are over 800 such non-endemic plant species in the Galapagos.
Eso está dañado.
The problem comes from the byproducts generated when these plants rot. They pose a challenge that did not exist in the Galapagos. Rotting fruit is the breeding ground of all kinds of bugs. Taquina flies and ants are the biggest headache for the Galapagos National Park. The mortality rate among baby birds infected by maggots is a whopping 100%. Insects that threaten Galapagos endemic plants continue to grow in number. Without competition and predators, non-endemic species are aggressively propagated. So long as the number of tourists and fruit and vegetable imports grow, a solution to the insect problem appears elusive. Although the Galapagos is pristine, the tomatoes here are not organic. This too is due to non-endemic insects.
Aquí el gusano que perjudica la plantita de tomate. Este es el gusano. Si ese, mire, y así, si es que no se controla, ellos pueden comerse todito el frutito.
They render the crop useless once they invade, so it's difficult to farm without pesticides.
Lo que es para tomate, pimiento, pepino y sandía. Para eso, es que a eso le pega la mosca y el gusano. La mosca blanca y el gusano. Para eso no.
Cultivated crops assemble at the market. The market is akin to a food warehouse that sustains the growing number of residents and tourists. One finds both locally produced and imported vegetables and fruit here. Crops are sometimes transported from one island to another. In a sense, this is a corridor through which all non-endemic crops pass. The Galapagos gets 220,000 visitors a year. The archipelago has an annual visitor capacity of 12,000. Receiving nearly 20 times more visitors than it can handle, the archipelago's ecology has already lost the ability to recover. Moreover, the number of visitors is growing 7% every year. All the islands are connected by boat and plane, thus dramatically decreasing travel time. The Galapagos National Park accounts for 97% of the archipelago's surface area. Only 3% of the archipelago is inhabited by humans. Houses sit precariously on volcanic rocks. Upon closer look, the situation is much more dire. The land is cracked everywhere. Houses are built on cracking rocks. Could they be safe?
Aquí en Galápagos, en la isla Isabela, tenemos movimientos sísmicos entre 60 y 120 en el día que no percibimos, que no sentimos porque estamos en actividad, ¿ok? Pero que hay movimientos. Entonces eso también hace que las construcciones donde no están en roca comiencen a ceder un poco, pero cuando tenemos una piedra firme ahí, no es nada peligroso, es muy seguro.
Every island has been aggressively building tourist facilities. Most of the wood for construction is brought in from the outside. Nevertheless, it is not feasible to import all construction material. So where does it come from? The excavator begins scooping up crushed rock in a lava zone. The truck then goes somewhere. There's another facility here. When crushed volcanic rocks are fed into it, this machine separates large rocks from sand. Volcanic sand is considered premium building material. The digging and separation of sand all takes place in the national park. The island's volcanic rocks are cut into slabs. Durable volcanic rock, created by the meeting of hot lava and cold water, is Galapagos' geological heritage that must be preserved. Revealed under the blazing sun is a natural salt pan formed from pooled seawater. At some point, the town's wastewater started seeping into this salt pan. The once clear water began to change. Mother Nature's commodities are slowly losing their power. Most of the town's residents work in tourism and the hotel industry. the island is crowded with convenience facilities and over 40,000 buildings to accommodate tourists. Dogs and cats brought in by outsiders are hurting endemic animals, posing yet another problem for the archipelago. With the construction of wide roads, thousands of animals are killed each year. Marine iguanas risk death to go into town. It's because there is food here. A marine iguana has found some fish bones. Marine iguanas sift through trash to find food. That being the case, what they most often pick up is inedible plastic waste. But fights break out even over that. A sea lion is writhing in pain. It must have eaten something bad. A national park ranger uses loud noises to guide a sea lion pup. It has a hard time finding its way, as if it cannot see. Sure enough, one eye is sunken in. With great difficulty, it smells its way to the waters. Even then, it's not the sea, but a river teeming with trash. It keeps putting its head in the water as if to lessen the pain in its eye. But the dirty water only exacerbates the pain. Two days later, the sea lion pup died in that very river. People go to the Galapagos to see rare natural wonders that exist nowhere else. But at this rate, they might become the last humans to see the Galapagos before it perishes. It's still beautiful here. It's a whole different scene in the Galapagos once night falls. The town comes to life at night. It's when tourists return from the sea and other islands. The dining tables are always loaded with fresh catch from the Galapagos Sea. The primordial archipelago sequestered from the rest of the world is no longer. It has lost the power to regulate the growing human population. Raw, untouched nature may be an illusion concocted by humans. The nature we see now is a human creation. Isolation had turned the archipelago into a paradise for diverse life forms. The law of nature is ruthless. The inability to coexist means extinction. That being the case, how much longer will they have peace here?